Okay, so thank you very much, Steve. Thank you very much, Paul, for inviting me on today. My name is Stuart. I'm the Strategic Alliances and Technical Partnerships Manager for Jabra in EMEA North. And today I'm just going to cover off the next 10 minutes or so around the Jabra portfolio and our relationship with Google for the Google Meet solution. But before I do that, just to give you, those of you who aren't familiar with Jabra, a very quick overview of who we are and where we come from, really. So Jabra is part of the GN Great Nordic Group. So the GN Group has three divisions: enterprise, gaming and consumer, and hearing. And as you can see, that the Jabra brand sits within the enterprise space. Now, the reason I've highlighted the three different divisions is because we actually leverage the R&D facilities across all three divisions there. So whether we're looking at someone who is hard of hearing or has lost their hearing and bringing their hearing back through hearing aids, or someone in their daily life who's a gamer or a consumer, or whether we're in the business professional world where we're looking to deliver audio, we're all about empowering people with audio, and it's exceptional audio across each of those individual divisions we have. So we're really able to leverage the experience to ensure that the audio receive and transmit is really changing people's lives. I'm talking about changing people's lives. So GN as a group, originally founded over 155 years ago, we actually laid the first deep sea telegraph between Europe and Asia. So communications has always been in our heritage and really driving that forward today still. But the world we're working in today really has drastically changed. And we're all familiar with how things have changed post-COVID. But what we're really seeing now is that work is no longer really where we go. Work is what we do. And we can do that from anywhere. As we're seeing, and I guess a number of you are already maybe operating those practices, you're working from multiple locations across the week. Very few people today have to go to the same single location every day, back to back, because the tools are there to allow us to do that. And the technology is really what is driving that, as I say, and that's obviously where Google and Google Meet fit in here today. But the biggest challenge we see is that it's all very well having the technology, but we also need to have the devices and the hardware to go hand-in-hand partnership with that technology. Because as we're seeing today, we have a Google Meet running now. However, in a lot of organizations, there is very little equipment actually to enable that meeting to function efficiently. If you cannot be seen and cannot be heard clearly, it really does have an impact on that meeting. And if people are joining meetings remotely because they're hybrid workers, you want to ensure that you have the same experience in the room as you do out of the room. Otherwise, it gets very frustrating. So audio and video is really key to have that overall performance. And that's really where Jabra come into play here, because we have a full portfolio of devices where we're able to support in any audio and video scenario. And as you can see here, 90% of Fortune 100 companies are already choosing Jabra. And the numbers on here on the number of devices, these are all focusing around our audio devices today. The reason being is because video is actually quite new to our portfolio. We introduced video into our portfolio in 2019, and we are increasing our portfolio all the time with new products coming through this year. And actually, on a later slide, I have some information regarding some of the Google Meet certifications around video as well, which is quite exciting news with our partnership for Google as well. But what I really see is that it's important to consider the hardware along with the software, because you want to have that full end-to-end solution to really have that total user experience. So when we dive a bit more into the portfolio, I'm not going to go into the entire headset portfolio or video portfolio, but just to give you a high-level overview, just to really allow you to understand the type of devices that are available and things to consider when you're looking to choose devices to use in conjunction with the software. So from a headset perspective, one of the key things we talk about regarding headsets is the need to have business professional headsets. There are a lot of consumer grade headsets out there. It's very easy today to actually manufacture a USB headset, but a USB headset will give you very limited functionality. So when you're joining an application like Google Meet, you want to ensure you've got a supported device from Google and it's a fully certified device. That certification will again give you a lot greater integration functionalities. You'll get call control and you'll be able to answer and end calls directly from the device. So it's all about the user experience. And what we really see is better user experience drives better adoption, And if you get better adoption, you then have a more productive and more efficient workforce. But also with a professional device, you'll find they are more durable. You've got a warranty associated to it. And you'll be able to find your employees are actually wanting to use the solution because they're finding it comfortable, and they can rely on that product. Because again, if you cannot hear and you cannot see, you really actually blame the application, but sometimes it's not the application, it's the hardware you're using. So we really believe at Jabra that devices do make experiences. So just looking at the hardware on the headset side in a little bit more detail. So we have two franchises here. We have our Evolve 2 series and we have our Engage series. Now the Evolve 2 series is designed for that general sort of office professional worker, where we're looking to take calls throughout the day, but not necessarily on calls all day, every day. Those individuals who are on calls all day, every day, generally we would position more as a contact center type worker. And that's what our Engage portfolio is specifically designed and engineered for. In our Evolve 2 portfolio, we have our entry-level products where we have corded devices. The Evolve 250 being our premium corded device, where we have active noise cancelling. Now, all of our products have noise cancelling on the microphone. Again, the reason for that is it will eliminate the background noise for the remote participant. Active noise cancelling, though, will give you the added benefit of removing any noise in the background of you as the user. So therefore, it comes back to what I was saying earlier about having crystal clear calls for you and the person on the other end. When you move into the wireless range of the Evolve 2 series, these are all Bluetooth products. Bluetooth products allow you to connect them to multiple devices simultaneously, so you can connect to a laptop or a PC along with a mobile device. So again, you get that freedom and flexibility to have what we call multi-point technology. So two applications can be connected to one headset. And then in that Engage portfolio, more suited towards your heavier call user, maybe a contact center user, or maybe just someone who is on the phone all day, every day. So maybe like a receptionist type, or secretaries and people who are maybe doing dictation and a lot of transcribing. So those headsets are generally deemed as a lighter weight headset, but also have a high level of noise cancellation. I'll talk about transcribing, as we were seeing just now on the Gemini demonstration. When you're using inputs into AI, if you're typing the commands, that's fine. But a lot of people we're seeing now more and more are actually using voice prompts for the AI commands. Therefore, you want to have the transcription as clear as possible. So a noise cancelling headset will allow the input accuracy to be greater. And the greater the input accuracy, the greater the output accuracy, and the more relevant the output will be from the Gemini application, providing you that output. When we look at the Engage wireless portfolio, these use DECT technology. So DECT devices allow you a greater range, and they have military-grade encryption. So if security and call confidentiality is essential within your work, really would recommend DECT over Bluetooth. But again, regarding headsets and audio devices, it's really key to really try and do a user profile to try and understand what the user demands from the audio device, to then try and match the device to that requirement. Because as you can see, there are a number of different devices here, a number of different device options with features across the board. If we quickly jump into the video portfolio, as I said earlier, video is reasonably new to us. We are up and coming in the video, and our portfolio is expanding. But today we have our portfolio here. The main portfolio is comprised of the Panacast 50. So the Panacast 50 comes in three flavors. We have a unit that compare with a Windows compute unit. We have the Panacast 50 as a bring your own device, single standalone video bar. But then we also have the Panacast 50 VBS. So this is an Android video bar with a built-in compute unit that any day is going to be become certified now for Google Meet. Which is the exciting announcement which we're going to be having coming forward shortly. All of the devices do currently work with Google Meet. It just gives that signed, sealed approval from Google that it is now a fully certified device. We then have our new Panacast 40 VBS, again an Android compute unit. This is targeted towards your slightly smaller meeting space. You can see a slightly smaller video bar there as well. We have the Panacast 20, which is an intelligent desktop camera. We don't call it a webcam because it has an onboard AI processor, so we're able to do things like background blur, light optimization, and people tracking directly from this small desktop camera as well. And then for any meeting room space that doesn't necessarily require video, we have our Speak To range, which are audio devices as central table speakerphone devices, which I'll touch on a little bit more in the slide after next. But what makes the Jabra Pinacast range unique in the market, and why is it important to be used in conjunction with the Google Meet solution? We have a unique 180-degree field of view. So the 180-degree field of view will allow you to have the full meeting space captured. So we have three cameras, three 13-megapixel cameras that digitally stitch the image together to give that full 180-degree field of view. And if you're in a small huddle space and you have only 120 or 140 degree field of view on your camera, you can see the diagram on the right-hand side there. The two chairs nearest the screen would actually not be in view. So if you're looking to really optimize that meeting space and ensure everyone is seen and heard, the 180-degree field of view really allows you to effectively use all space in the room and deliver that inclusivity and equity within the meeting, which we're talking about. Because if you can't be seen, you can't be heard. Again, the application's not used, and therefore then people then decide they'll just revert to their old ways, or you sometimes lose that freedom of the hybrid work, and everyone is then demanded to be back in a single location to have that meeting face to face. And then coming back to the Speak To I mentioned, so a clearer view of one of the units here, the Speak To 75. This is our premium audio device for the meeting space. This product has just been announced that you can now link two devices together via a closed Bluetooth connection. So you can synchronize the two devices to expand the room capacity up to 12 or 14 people within one room. They are full duplex products with 4 beamforming microphones. We have a voice level normalization and a microphone quality indicator, which is that green ring around the unit you can see there. So really useful devices to have in any meeting space where you maybe don't want to invest in video, but want to utilize the Google Meet platform and have a exceptional audio experience. Because what you'll find is, compared to the integrated microphone of a laptop or a mobile phone, you will have a rich, crystal clear audio experience on both receive and transmit. So just wrapping up and sort of summarizing what I've said there. So why use a Google Meet certified device? If you really want to get the true benefit of the Google Meet platform, a certified device will really help that. So it will enhance the meeting. And what we're saying there is that the Google Meet certification is where Google have independently tested to prove that the device works with the Google Meet platform. They go through rigorous tests to meet all the technical requirements and ensure that nothing is left that it doesn't work. So there's no redundant button functionality on devices. So the device you have is the device that works end-to-end on an end-to-end experience. Seamless connection with outstanding audio. All the devices are designed with Google Meet to be plug and play. So open the box, plug it in via the USB, and it just works. And it works with a crystal clear voice or the video experience which you're looking for. Engineered for the way we work today and tomorrow. What we mean there is it works straight out of the box. It works with all the Google features. I mentioned earlier on, devices have call control, so you can answer and end the call directly from the device. And the reason for working for tomorrow is because with the future-proofing element here, with the free of charge Jabra software, all devices are able to be remotely updated within the field. So if we release a new update or Google release a new update for Meet, we're able to push that firmware out and have the devices remotely updated. So always running on the latest firmware versions at any one time. And again, because it's a professional device, because it's been certified and approved by Google, you have professional support delivered from Jabra with all the warranties that you would expect from a business professional device. So a bit of a whistle-stop tour regarding Jabra, but say if you've got any further questions, happy to take them, or please direct them to Paul and Steve, and obviously we can pick up those questions later on. But thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Stuart. Really appreciate your time today. One thing I would say, and I can attest to that, before we started, when we obviously started this business, one of the things we always suffered from in our office environment was basically people can hear what's going on all the time, especially when we're on video calls. So we have customers can hear other customers being spoken to and stuff like that, or there's other conversations going on. And last year, Stuart introduced us to actually using the Jabra Evolve sort of range here, which I've got in my hand at a minute. And all of our staff now actually have these, and it's a much quieter environment, and feedback from our customers has been brilliant. They don't actually hear what's going on, and they just feel they're in the same room as the person they're talking to. So really, really good headsets and things. And if people wanted to have demonstrations of these, able to actually arrange that, no problem whatsoever. And I also say that we are using all the latest, the latest Jabra kit and things we're using stage for the session as well.